Thank you, everybody, for being with me. For some time, I have been confused about where the right sits around certain issues, the type of emphatic version that we have of the right wing, and where it sits. And I must confess, lately, I've been a bit obsessed by them, mainly because they are confusing, and I just wonder to what extent do they actually influence anything. And here I'm talking about the extreme right. As I mentioned, one of my posts, I've been reading a book on QAnon, which has been illuminating, to say the least, and helped me to better understand the psychology behind why it is that people get sucked into these, or sucked down, I should say, these particular rabbit holes. And so I've become not obsessed, I've become extremely interested in some of these right-wing movements and what they represent. Now, I'm not going to go into that in any great detail in this particular video, but I'm going to focus on one particular group of people. And these are a bloke by the name of Guru Dave. Now, I have an issue with the fact that anybody would call themselves a guru. Does that mean that you have a stack of information and knowledge and understandings that no one else has? And when I hear this guy speak, I don't think he actually knows anything about much, but makes believe, portrays himself as having some degree of knowledge around stuff that only influences those people who are on the extreme right, the QAnon type people. So what he has to offer is, I think, well, not only limiting, I think it's actually harmful. And they're going and part of this discussion is also going to be with a bloke by the name of Bossy, who's standing for Parliament, I believe, for the Upper House in New South Wales at the upcoming election. And he himself is a bit of a crazy dude himself. So I'm going to play a bit of his video. But what I have come to realise is that amongst some of my Twitter feed, there sits a group of people who tend to follow. And there's one particular person by the name of Stacey Goodwin who does tend to follow these people, not because she's an avid QAnon supporter, but because she likes to look at the cookers and thinks, well, they're crazy, here's the things that they are saying, and let us know what they are. And I became firstly aware of this bloke David and this woman Mel and Bossy because of them. And they have, so they're attached to a site called BitChute. Now, BitChute is it's up here on, I'll just, think I can show you some of this. I don't know whether you can read it or not, it's very small print, but it's in Wikipedia. BitChute is an all-tech video hosting service. It describes itself as offering freedom of speech, while the service is known for hosting far-right individuals, conspiracy theorists, and hate speech. Some creators who use BitChute have been banned from YouTube, and some others cross-post content to both platforms or post mere extreme content only to BitChute. And it was interesting when I was researching, I hate that word now because the right think that they do all the researching, but when I was looking up who are these people, and I found that they're only available on BitChute because when you do a search on YouTube and other places, you just cannot find them because they're just bloody bizarre. So so I had a look, and I hope this doesn't get me into trouble with YouTube when I play some of their videos, but their attitude, their beliefs, the way they present themselves is as if they are the experts. They're the ones telling us the truth about stuff that we should know about. For example, apparently the police, 5G is a terrible thing for whatever reason. It brings cancer and does a whole lot of other terrible stuff. And that there's certain machines that the police have got that causes your skin to go blotchy and stuff like that. And I thought that was just because I was getting friggin' old. But apparently they have these machines that can access your skin and change the colouring of your skin and do terrible things to you. All baloney, all not true, but this is the sort of crap that they carry on with. So I thought I'd look into them a little bit further, and lo and behold, I came across the place in which these people hang out. Now, they hang out with some terrible, terrible, terrible people on this BitChute site. I'm not going to suggest to anybody that you find a way to access it and try it. I haven't looked at what it takes to register and join, but clearly they have the process whereby they can produce their own videos. I think the videos are crap, but that's the way they produce them, and that's the thing that they use. So I'm just going to play a little bit. Now, the guy that appears in this is Ricardo Bossi. This is the bloke that's standing for the Legislative Council in New South Wales. And he's as bizarre as they come. But what I do like about him is the contrast that sits between him and this bloke, Dave, who thinks he's a guru, because Bossi always wears a suit and looks like he's worth $1 million. And David, the guru, the guy that calls himself a guru, he just looks like he fell off the back of a truck. And the comparison I just find absolutely interesting. Who Kaz is, or Mel, or whatever her name is, I don't know who she is. But this is some of the crap that they're talking about. So just have a listen, and I'll talk about it.
Yeah, these guys, again, what have we done, people? We put them on the back foot. They got into panic mode. All right, they've pressed another panic button. And look what they've done now. As I said, Rick, where are we around the world, Rick?
He's talking about his arrest on Saturday, incidentally, and how, as a result of that arrest, he's got this sense that the police are in favour of what he's doing. The extreme sense of narcissism is amazing, but it's there for all of us to see, and the same applies to this Bossi bloke as well.
I'll let you name the countries, mate, that are looking out for Guru.
Oh, we got, the moment the word got out, and we put out, and Cass put out an immediate one, and we got all our platforms out to let people know. We didn't have any details. We just knew that
all your platforms, buddy, are banned elsewhere. So you don't have any real platforms whatsoever. You seem to be banned on most of the social media platforms.
The plot had come and got you.
Yeah.
And within minutes, we had messages.
And here they are. Now they're talking about... Now, there's a number of viewers, I must confess. On this particular video, we had 574 views at this time. And so, good on you. That's okay. It's not hundreds of thousands. It's not really getting to a large number of people. It's just getting to those people that are interested in the crap that you spout. But here is Bossi saying that after the arrest, it seemed important to them that they had all these people around the world were interested in what was happening. Well, out of 7 billion people, I guess there are going to be a few that are going to be interested, but I don't think it really means all that much. But they want to glorify the way by which they've been able to encapsulate the world with their particular cause.
Just from A to Z, America to Zimbabwe, messages were coming, and everywhere in between. I mean, everywhere in between. In fact, we received one from SG Anon, and let me just read this for you. I condemn.
You got to tell me that SG Anon certainly got to be a conspiracy theorist, no doubt about that.
In the highest possible terms, the apprehension of Dave Guru Graham, patriot from Australia and member of the Australia A1 party. Well, you're not, but that's okay.
That's fine. Happy to be.
By an illegitimate Australian government and jackbooted thugs masquerading as enforcers of the New South Wales local government policy, the police. It is clear that the intimidation tactic was deployed ahead of the Sydney Freedom Rally to disrupt the coalescence of Australian patriots everywhere. Mr. Graham must be released immediately.
Now, I do have to say that I have a strong issue with this notion that Australians, for whatever reason, are using the American term around patriotism. Australians, I think, generally care about our country and our freedoms and all the wonderful things that we have to enjoy, but we don't necessarily, unless we're on the right, see ourselves as patriots, as Americans tend to want to see you or see themselves. And I think I do object to adopting some of those Americanisms in order to describe who we are. We are simply Australians. We're a broad population. We've got all races and all religions, everything is incorporated in this particular country. And we will fight and we will defend our country in whichever way we can, I guess. But to say that we're patriots and to abide by the American version of what patriots means to them, particularly the right wing, I think is offensive. Yet that's what these guys do, because that's kind of who they are. So let's just continue for a little bit and let me know what you think about this stuff, because it interests me.
Immediately with a full apology. And that's from the world famous SG9. And that's the tenor of the messages we were getting from everywhere. It was quite extraordinary, mate. You are known around the world.
Yep, sure you are.
That was our objective, wasn't it, Rick? And the funny thing is, again, I'm not scared, guys, because God's with us, okay? This was just a little letting us know.
I hate this business. So when they bring in God, I think if God had was interested in the intellectually inept, then certainly he would be, or she, or that, or they would be interested in you, because you lack intelligence, you lack the ability to be able to discuss things in a very rational way. You develop theories and ideas which are counter to popular belief. You are not prepared to abide by the law, because you simply see the law as being something that interferes with your own sense of freedom, your own ability to be able to say whatever you like to say whatever you like to say to whoever you like to say it to, without any consequences whatsoever. And there are some consequences, and they don't like it at all. They want a system which is basically anarchy. And I find it incredible to think that people would see this system, this sort of QAnon, sovereign citizen type system, as being one by which all of us would want to live by. They think for some particular reason, at some point, we're all going to reach this point of awakening, and we're going to discover that we're living in this fairy tale world, sort of a version of the Matrix, if you like, and we're going to break out of that, and we're going to be able to see things for the way they really are. Look, there are plenty of things that are wrong with this world. I'm the first to admit that. There are lots of changes that need to take place, particularly around caring for children, child protection, Indigenous issues, poverty in this country, homelessness, mental health, the list goes on and on. I'm aware of all of that. But to change it in the way that these people suggest that we should change it is just simply wrong. It's not going to happen. And that they become obsessed by these particular beliefs, which are founded where there are no facts whatsoever to substantiate any of their claims. Now, conspiracy theories exist because sometimes conspiracies do happen, and we need to be mindful of them. I'm wary of organisations like ASIO and CIA and governments in general, and the things that they want to do in order to satisfy themselves and to be able to provide what they think they need to provide in terms of power and authority over the rest of us. I understand all of that. But fighting it in the way that these people suggest they should be fighting it, by building a whole host of conspiracy theories that are founded on nothing, is really not the way to do it. So I'm going to be reporting a little bit more on where these people are coming from, what their views are, and how they will impact you and I if they get a hold, particularly if Ricardo Bossi does get into Parliament, which I doubt that he will. But if he does, the sort of havoc that someone like him could create would be it would be bloody terrible to watch, even though I would suggest the system would squash him to some extent. So he won't have anywhere near as much power as he thinks that he would have as one single person in the upper house. So they're my views. Look, if you'd like to subscribe to my channel, do so. It'd be great to have you on board, and just keep an eye on some of my feeds in relation to more of this sort of stuff. And certainly some issues that I'm raising in relation to some of my concerns around the attack being taken on Brittany Higgins. And of course, keep an eye on some of the things that I will be talking about in relation to child protection in particular. So take care, everybody. Look after yourselves and be safe.